Well, a bizarre scene in a German grocery store when 50 sheep just decided to waltz on into the store after the automatic doors opened for them. They went bursting into the produce section and fruit section. Seemed to be their only wants was a fresh snack. Turns out they were safely removed with minimal damage. But I gotta say, if I'm an employee of that store, I'm heading for the hills. If 50 sheep come flooding in, especially if I'm the produce guy, trying to restock the produce. You know, I mean, I probably don't get paid enough for that, to be honest. So, lucky that no one got hurt and there was minimal damage to the store. No word yet on they're going to be sending some of those sheep to the slaughter, but I hope not. Hope they're back to the fields and doing their thing. But yeah, if you're a sheep, I guess the moral of the story is avoid grocery stores if you're a sheep. So, all right, that's all. Well, it's no secret that AI is taking over. No secret at all that AI is taking over. Going to take our jobs in 20 years. But a bizarre situation happened in Utah. The police department was forced to explain why one of their AIs basically said claimed one of their officers had turned into a frog. During a test of AI-powered report-writing software, a generated police report included a claim that an officer had transformed into a frog. The software, called Draft 1, was processing audio from an officer's body camera in the background. And while doing so, apparently in the recording, Disney movie called Princess and the Frog was playing, and the AI failed to distinguish the movie dialogue from the actual event of the scene, integrating the call with the plot of the movie. But yeah, that's pretty hilarious. That police department was forced to kind of explain themselves. I don't know. Honestly, if I were them, I'd play it up, make something up. Like, yeah, one of our officers is a frog now, Officer Hoppy. But can't have fun anymore. Guess we don't get Officer Hoppy anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's your weird news for this part of the day, or I don't know, could be one coming up later, who knows. But anyway, thanks for listening, and don't turn into a frog. Then you'll have to explain yourself. See you later.
In August of 2024, a 70-year-old man went to the emergency room complaining about pain on his left side. It was later determined through imaging that he needed his spleen removed. 3 days later, he was dead. Turns out his doctor mistakenly removed his liver on his right side and tried to convince his coworkers that it was, in fact, the man's spleen. So he was arrested on Monday, and now he's facing charges of manslaughter and 15 years in prison.
Well, do you love a good dose of irony in the morning? I know I certainly do. A man at a bar in Scotland, the owner of a bar in Scotland, was charged with driving intoxicated. And he was pulled over and found to be 5 times over the legal limit and arrested. Well, you might be asking yourselves, well, Millennial Nerd, what's so ironic about Well, I'm here to tell you, faithful listener, that this man was an owner and manager of a sober bar, a non-alcoholic bar where people who either don't like to drink or had problems drinking when they did drink go to be sober. So yeah, very ironic. He now faces charges of driving while intoxicated, 5 times over the legal limit. So I guess that's your wisdom for today. If you are if you happen to be the manager of a bar that doesn't serve alcohol, make sure you put the bottle down, because you never know. Well, a woman in Florida was arrested after going the wrong way in Tampa, Florida. Pulled over by police. She showed signs of intoxication early on, according to the officers that pulled her over. When asked to give her a license, she gave them her Barnes & Noble card. And I bet it was quite obvious then that she was highly intoxicated. Initial tests showed that she was double the legal limit, and she was promptly arrested and charged with a misdemeanor DUI. So just remember, if you're a Barnes & Noble Rewards member and you get pulled over, it does not suffice as your ID, turns out. But yeah, of course, a story like this would happen in Florida. It's a weird, wild place. Anyway, that's your little tidbit of news for now. This is Millennial Nerd. I will see you next time. I will go to your house, but I'll drive the wrong way to get there. Okay, just kidding. I'll go to your house, I promise. I won't drive the wrong way either. So it turns out a grandma was having fun playing video games. Meanwhile, her family was getting worried about her. So there was a 90-year-old woman in Ohio who was enrolled in an automated welfare check system. And when it went off, they went to check on her, and she was playing video games. Upon entering her home, they found her safe and sound. She was in high spirits, and she couldn't hear the door because she was too busy gaming. If that's not us, not paying attention, just avoiding stuff in our lives, that would be it. That would be the embodiment of most people, to be honest. She was in the middle of trying to beat her previous personal high score in a game, and didn't want to get up. And yeah, she's playing Bubble Pop. She wasn't playing like a serious game or anything like that. But yeah, she was playing Bubble Pop. So if you want to have fun and play some Bubble Pop, and ignore your family, you can feel free to do that, like this 90-year-old lady did. Because that's what I would be doing. Well, a 35-year-old man in New York is now being accused of trying to stab a family member while wearing a cow costume. Family members say he attempted to stab them during an altercation. And he was arrested, and now he faces several charges, including second-degree attempted assault, fourth-degree criminal possession of a weapon, and second-degree menacing. So if you or someone you know has family problems, and they have a cow costume and knives, and they have a tendency to get quite upset, just make sure that if you get in an argument, you take away the knives or the cow costume or both. But I feel like there's another way to kind of solve our differences, especially when it comes to family. But yeah, that's your little weird news tidbit for the day. Thanks for listening. Well, cameras were rolling in Warsaw, Poland, as a humanoid robot was caught on film chasing a group of wild boars. The humanoid robot, his name is Unity G1, humanoid robot, nicknamed Edward. His last name is a Polish name, is very hard to pronounce, but he's about 4 feet 2 inches tall. He weighs roughly 77 pounds. Footage shows the robot jogging after a small herd of boars. And when he couldn't catch them, he slowed down and waved in frustration. Turns out video of the robot quickly surpassed 3.8 million views all over Twitter and other platforms. But the company behind the robot says it was a marketing stunt. So that kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit. But it's kind of a catchy headline if you ask me. But yeah, they're testing the robot. I don't know what it'll be used for, but it's very creepy. If you want to watch the video, I'm sure it's out. Well, we can't feed the homeless anymore. At least according to a town in Ohio, Bryan, Ohio. Pastor Chris Avell of Dad's Place in Bryan, Ohio, faces 18 criminal charges and up to $500,000 in fines. 500,000 as in six figures. And potential fines for violating city zoning codes. And the allegations, according to the city, city officials claim that the church is illegally operating a shelter for the homeless. It's not like the city should, make that easier for the church. Because apparently we're supposed to be anti-freedom and anti-charity. I feel like the town could help. I'm just saying. But his defense, the pastor's defense, he filed a federal lawsuit arguing that providing 24/7 shelter is a religious exercise protected by the First Amendment and federal law. This case serves a test for religious land use and institutionalized persons acts regarding local safety laws applying to religious outreach. Honestly, if you're a government out there, I just want you to know that when you just decide, right? When you just decide that you're gonna be mean and gross, when people are trying to help people, and you just want to find people and put them in jail for helping others instead of, trying to find it in your heart to make the necessary upgrades to the church or the building that they are using for this shelter. You're gross. You got no heart, man. And all these places have homeless problems. And you have these type of people that want to help. But I guess apparently the city doesn't see it that way. In Bryan, Ohio. Hopefully I said that right. But I really don't care. They're being gross and mean. Don't let this stop you from helping people. So the FAA is now investigating two pilots after they were caught meowing at each other on a flight. This timeline is really weird. I don't really know what's going on lately. So apparently, one pilot, instead of speaking on the mic like he's supposed to, apparently he meowed at another pilot, and another pilot meowed back in response, as you do as a cat. Um, and then the air traffic controllers, they responded with, "You should probably be more professional." To that I say, you can't have fun at work now, I guess, in the big 2026. You got to be serious all the time. I get the fact that they're, obviously flying planes. But I think it's time for everybody to lighten up just a little bit in our current climate these days. Humor goes a long way. So I just find it really funny that two pilots are getting investigated for doing one of the most innocent things you can do, meowing at your coworkers. But props to the other coworker though for meowing back. I feel like that was the appropriate response to do at the time, so gotta give him that. But yeah, that's a weird piece of news that I just found, and thought I would talk about it for a minute. So thanks for listening.
Tom Green is a 61-year-old political science major, a freshman at McDaniel College. He is about to be the oldest college football player in the history of college football. He turns 61 in June of this year, and he walked on to the team, made the roster, and he also beat stage 4 kidney cancer in 2017. So if you think it's too late to do something, take Tom's advice, I guess. And the dude does not look 60. Like, you can definitely tell he's older, but that's a big dude. I think most of the older people kick or punt, but this is the first time that I've seen someone be a defensive tackle at 61, or about to be 61. That's pretty dope.
Well, a lady in Louisiana about 3 months ago was arrested for swimming around naked in a private pond. Turns out she wanted to play mermaids. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, your childhood game turned into a crime. She initially refused to leave the water, informing responding deputies that she was trying to be a mermaid. After exiting the pond, she allegedly charged a deputy, remained unafflicted by a taser, and kicked and punched the officer before being restrained. She is now facing multiple counts of battery, including a battery of a police officer, resisting with violence, public intimidation, and criminal trespassing. She's got a high bond, $62,000 in charges. Also include disturbing the peace, suggesting potential intoxication. So just remember out there, ladies and gentlemen, when you decide to play mermaids, make sure it's in your own body of water, first of all. And maybe wear some clothes. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not your parent, but at least, make sure you're in your own yard or your own pond. So you don't get arrested like 41-year-old Aaron. Yep. Bye. Well, do you like Viagra in your chocolate? Turns out, apparently some people do. A company in California recently figured out that their chocolate contains undeclared active ingredients sildenafil and tadalafil. Two hard words that are very hard to say, but you just need to know that they're active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis. The company issued a recall on their products because of, obviously the tainted chocolate. Obviously, as fun as it is, the stuff was sold nationwide online. And apparently it can cause a drop in blood pressure if taken with nitrates, which are common heart medications. So I'm really sorry for those of you out there who really wanted the Viagra and Cialis chocolate, but it's probably best that we know what we're eating. But that's pretty hilarious to know that, that company had to, do that recall, because it's not every day that you. How does it even happen though? Like, do they manufacture Viagra? Do they just have those active ingredients on hand for one reason or another? I mean, they're a candy company, obviously. Why would you have Viagra and Cialis active ingredients? But really curious to see how this one plays out. Make sure you check your chocolate for Viagra and Cialis, because you never know. All right, thanks for listening. Have a good day.